Penn State crowd. Next up, 157-pound division. Johnny Lovett from Miami, Florida, facing off against number 19, Chase Saldate.
It's going to be a sit-off. Chase always sits before, and so does Johnny. But how about when Johnny Lovett was walking out, he shook Coach Borelli's hand with 2 hands and then went up and rubbed his head like it was a genie. Fun little addition to the warm-up. And these are 2 of my favorite wrestlers in the NCAA. I love watching both of these guys wrestle. So to see them compete against each other is something I've been looking forward to all week.
2 very exciting wrestlers right out there on the mat in front of us. Chase Saldate, only 1 loss in duels so far this season, 13-1. That 1 loss coming against number 1, Levi Haynes. Penn State took into the sudden victory period. On the other side, Johnny Lovett, 11-2 in duels so far. Against Clarion, defeated Levinsky Collin by a tech fall, 21-3.
Crazy movement on both guys. Beautiful. Oh.
Locked in a stare down between each other right now.
You see how Chase, his feet, one constantly forward, and look, he's on his toes. So when Johnny looks to attack, Chase immediately drops to his toes, cat-like reflexes. When you think back to Stauffenberg, on the other end, it was all heels. So this is the transition that I'm telling you. The growth that has to come in order for Stauffenberg to improve has to be that from a defensive standpoint.
Saldate's legs never squared, as you said, Eric. Only 10 seconds remaining in the first period. This one flying by. 0-0 still, no advantage. First period will end, no advantage.
This is another one of those auto bottoms.
Lovett will be on the bottom, Saldate on top.
I'm curious to see where this goes. Chase is so dominant on top. And if Johnny wants to pick up a win here, he has to somehow find a way to escape. Chase rides so tough on that left side and now goes to a roll through, and this is in trouble. Oh, did you see that? He went from left side half to right side half, switched mid-turn. And Johnny's out here. He's out here. Coach Borelli has the brick. And Johnny pushes him back and says, no, don't do it.
Some debate over whether that would be an escape point. It was not in the end.
And now Chase has to be careful to give up a reversal here. Johnny's in good position.
He gets it, gets the 2. Scary for Saldate.
Uphill battle now for Chase Saldate.
Gets the 4 on the near fall. Picks up the escape point, 6-1. Advantage, love it. 45 remaining in the second period.
There's no question about this. Chase Saldate needs a takedown this period. No two ways about it. If he does not get one, it'll make it near impossible to pick up a win.
Five seconds remaining. Six to 1 advantage for Lovett. 2 minutes to go. Saldate starting on the bottom. The reversal into the near fall, pushing this advantage to 6-1 for Lovett. Just gives up the one.
And they're going to hit Johnny for stalling here soon. And Chase can't panic. Plenty of time, but you can't be hanging in. And this is, the Central Michigan wrestlers are all, they all have PhDs in positioning. That is one thing that they work on. And this is a master class on how to keep a lead right here that we've seen throughout the duel. But Johnny Lovett gets to an underhook, goes switch to a double underhook, keep Chase's head down. And what is going to happen here?
Gets the three on the takedown. 6-5. Now earns the escape, and Saldate trying to get some more.
(7-5) riding time not a factor. 51 seconds left. And look at Johnny Lovett. Burst back to the center. It's Chase Saldate. Where's Johnny Lovett? Nowhere to be found.
The entire Spartan corner getting up for this one.
Here comes the stall call.
Gets the stall. Three on the takedown, Saldate.
And a stall call.
Saldate changing the tides against Lovett. 9-7 advantage the Spartans. Lovett slow and returning to the center of the mat.
And let me tell you, Johnny Lovett grabbed the edge of the mat, and that's where the stall call came from.
Less than 30.
And I said it would be near impossible. But Chase hasn't been in these deep of waters all season. Johnny Lovett took him to him, and Chase Saldate showed up in period number 3, exactly what the Spartans needed.
What a response from Saldate, controlling the back of Lovett to end this. 4 to go. 3, 2, 1. A roar of applause takes over Jennison Fieldhouse as Chase Saldate takes the win, taking down Johnny Lovett. Saldate improving to 14-1 in duels this season. Chase, the satellite Saldate, adding another one into the scrapbook.
But Chase had his floaties on. He was ready for it.
If there's one wrestler on the Spartan side who can make the impossible seem probable, is Chase Saldate. Moving on to the 165-pound division. Number 9, Caleb Fish, facing off against Mason Schrader of the Chippewas. Three on the takedown.
Now another shocker, so 3 takedown. Swiderski comes out, stops the double underhooks, gets out of bounds, and they're gonna throw the brick for near fall. Tyler Swiderski just came out, and I think this is going to be close to some near fall. I think they're going to give at least 2. So this is going to be 5-0 hold. I'm still fired up about that Chase match. Down 6-1, entering period number 3. That's what you have to say. You can't talk about that match without saying that it was the 3rd period, he was down by 5, and Johnny Lovett had choice, and he elected to let him go without riding Chase out. That was the mistake right there, mistake number 1.
Letting Saldate free to his own devices. Not a mistake that many want to make. The impact this call could have, Eric, as you said, real chance that Caleb Fish returns in a 5-0 hole, less than 40 seconds into the first period. 2:23 to go in the first still.
Call the mat stand.
Call on the mat will stand. No extra points are being awarded.
Not only is it important that they didn't give up the near fall, but also Central Michigan loses the brick. Important point to point out.
Fish getting the escape, makes it 3-1. What a shift. Could have been a 5-0 hole now. Only 2 points separating these two wrestlers.
I like to see this, though. Facing a little adversity, right? That's what you need. Figure out what you can work on, but also, Swiderski goes to a knee touch on that right side. But now it's just important to get back to your go-to offense.
For Fish, almost got a taste of his own medicine. Against OSU, got a takedown against Bryce Hopner. Only 30 seconds in, had it happen to him today.
One more shot, and Swiderski's getting hit for stalling. I mean, just watch the feet. Look at the feet of Swiderski compared to the feet of Caleb Fish. And those shots don't count, in my opinion. Fish has to, as I was saying before, Fish has to shorten that elbow on that left side. Swiderski pinching that elbow as tight as he can. It's important for Fish to make sure that he gets that elbow out, bringing the wrist to the ear, try and create some separation there. That's only the first.
That will end the first period of action. Eric, as you mentioned, a long first period, 3-1. Advantage Swiderski at the moment.
Beautiful stand-up right off the whistle. Was watching the referee. Timed it perfectly.
Cuts that advantage down to 1, 3-2 now.
Fish has to be careful for the pick here. Swiderski's looking to let go of that wrist and go to the ankle.
Stall warning comes in.
And the coaching staff for Central is not happy about that call. But in reality, I mentioned just watching the feet, right? You have to have some sort of forward pressure, some sort of offense. It can't just be counter offense and expect to not get hit for stalling.
A few too many moments of backtracking and moving away instead of taking Caleb Fish head on. "55 seconds to go in the second.
Beautiful knee pull. And that's going to be a stalling on Fish. That's close.
Chippewa corner getting loud. Used up their challenge brick earlier. Mentioned the implications that would have, Eric.
Swiderski's hung in there. I mean, how about it? He's done a good job this match.
Still technically has the advantage over Fish. Swiderski 2-1 so far in duels, coming off a loss to Eli Brinsky at Clarion. Entering the third period, 3-2 advantage still Swiderski. Spartan corner telling Caleb Fish, let's go. See what he does.
Yeah, Swiderski's been hit for stalling. I don't know why you go on your feet. I guess he hasn't given up a takedown, but it's interesting to me, right? In this era where everyone automatically goes bottom, Swiderski switches it up and figures he has the defense to stick with Caleb Fish. He's not worried.
3 points on the takedown for Fish. Swiderski lunging for that outer area. 5-3 advantage to Fish. His first advantage of this bout. Spartans trail 10-6 in this entire meet.
And Swiderski with the reversal.
That's 2.
What a match.
Fish gets 1 on the escape. Swiderski with 34 seconds of riding time. Unlikely to have that factor in, but keep an eye.
1 stall call for Swiderski, no stall calls for Fish. Fish needs to get his butt or his heels to the out-of-bounds line and start playing this game.
"45 seconds on the dot. Wrestlers returning to the center of the mat. 6-5 advantage going to Caleb Fish. As you mentioned, Eric, the stall warning as well for Swiderski.
And Swiderski, on all of his shots, he's came up to above the knee. He has to stay below the knee on his finish if he's going to want to finish on Caleb Fish.
Fish so strong on the defensive end.
And this is where the auto stall for Green comes in. Oh, this is close. This is trouble for Fish.
Only 9 seconds. 2, 1. And a roar from the crowd. Caleb Fish able to take the 10 over the Chippewas. 3 more weight classes to go, and the first is 184-pound division. Our final senior being recognized, Lane Malchevsky, number 19, looking for victory number 100 in the green and white. Would be a special way to end his career, facing off against Adrian Kramer. Malchevsky 8-3 in duels so far. On the other end, Kramer 3-3.
Bonus points would be here for the would be huge for the Spartans.
In Kramer's last match, he got bonus points with a major decision loss. Malchevsky is getting control, already has the 3 for the takedown.
And look at Kramer crawling off the mat. You're gonna have to hit him with stolen if he keeps. I mean, there was no hiding that he was crawling directly towards the out-of-bounds line.
Happens again.
The Michigan State coaches are saying the same thing we're saying. He just crawled from the center to the out-of-bounds line. Roger Chandler said he literally just crawled off the mat.
Malchevsky building on the riding time, already up to 45 seconds of riding time. .105 remaining in the first period. 3-0 advantage going for Malchevsky.
Kramer up nice to his feet. Doing a good job blocking off on that left side. Lane finds a half on the right, though. This is where he's so dangerous, where he rolls through.
Now passing a minute 40 of riding time advantage for Malchevsky in just the first period. .6 as we reset in the middle.
Brutal. He's going to have over 2 minutes and 20 seconds of riding time in the opening period. But if you're Kramer and you're the Central Michigan staff, you're saying this is okay because right now it's 4-0. Where if you could put him down again, the riding time is not going to be a factor after this. He could run the clock up to 6 minutes. They don't care. As long as he doesn't give up the major decision, that is the only thing that they are worried about right now. 2:20. I don't know if I've ever seen 2:20 in the opening period. That's impressive.
Yeah, only 40 seconds of that first period was not spent on Kramer's back for Lane Malchevsky.
And this is where he's dangerous. Kramer just has to let him go.
Picks up the escape point.
And I think Lane is probably the most offensive wrestler from the bottom that I've ever seen. You usually just don't say that. But Lane's offense comes to a fault at times from the bottom. It's one of those double-edged swords, right? We saw it with Rogatsky for Ohio State.
And that Ohio State match ended up with a pin in the second period. Lost to number 23 in the nation, Ryder. How'd you say his last name, Eric? I don't know.
Ryder Rogatsky. Yeah, he's just dangerous, and he hit Lane with. Lane was on top, but majority of Lane's offense comes from mat wrestling, top or bottom. He's great on bottom, but he's also great on top. But Rogatsky just reached back, judo-esque chin whip. But what I liked is that it was unique because instead of kipping over, which you normally see on that whip over, Rogatsky sunk his hips in as Lane looks for a single leg here, gets his head stuck in the middle, and is going to finish his shot.
3 on the takedown, 7-0 advantage, really 8-0 including the riding time, which has reached back to 2:20.
And now let's see if Kramer starts to work from bottom. Because in the opening period, he was just hanging out. And now you're starting to see some movement from Kramer on the bottom.
2 minutes and 29 seconds of riding time, 23.6 remaining in the second. 7-0 advantage as the score stands now.
And you mentioned it, this would be Lane Malchevsky's 100th win as a Spartan. To do so on senior night in front of his whole family and in front of this packed crowd here at Jennison Fieldhouse would be something special for Malchevsky.
Really can't write an ending better to a career at Michigan State.
And All-American status would be nice.
There might be a few ways that could be a little better. I will concede. 2.5 left in the second period. 2 minutes and 50 seconds of riding time before we enter the third. Kramer tried for the quick escape, did not get it. 7-0 advantage heavily for Lane Malchevsky at the moment. 2:53 of riding time as well. Gives up the escape to start neutral. 7-1 advantage. Malchevsky should be looking for bonus points here, as including the riding time, 1 away from a major decision.
And Lane knows. He knows he needs this takedown. This is, I was going to say, this is major. No pun intended. But pun intended.
Bit of a pun intended. What's a pun that good, Eric? There has to be a little intended.
Lane in deep on a head inside single, comes up to his feet.
Secures the three-point takedown, 10-1 advantage Malchevsky. At this point, the riding time has eclipsed so high that it cannot be taken down. 2:55 of riding time, 11-2 being the true advantage for Malchevsky.
I love it. Looked over at Chris Williams and said, I'm going neutral. Chris Williams said, let's have some fun. Go ahead.
coming in. Three points coming in for Kramer.
Oh, this would be something else. If Kramer's able to steal this major decision. Lane has to go. Track shoes on, Malcheski, track shoes on.
Five seconds remaining to try for the major. 2, 1.
He's not going to get it.
The gamble did not pay off, but Lane Malcheski, win number 100. The triple figure mark, the century mark, whatever you want to call it. Lane Malcheski has done it in the green and white. 100 career win as a Spartan. Lane Malcheski, the final member of the team honored today on senior night, unable to pick up the major.